Hey, this is Paul, and thanks for checking out our fruit preview on our first season of this hybrid, and this is VERMITHOR. And VERMITHOR's mom is Assunta 2. Well, I should say the Elk Creek Assunta, and people say it's an Assunta 2. But this fruit's a little smaller, it does get bigger, and it's absolutely one of the sweetest, most tropical flavors I've ever had. This thing will breaks into the low 20s to mid 20s. Really delicious fruit, but sensitive. You can see this fruit is weighing in at over 1/3 of a pound, and I expect them to get a little bigger. In fact, one of them was about 1/2 pound that I've eaten. So this is VERMITHOR, and if you watch, what's interesting about it is its parent plant is actually pink, as you can see. So it kind of reminds me of cotton candy. It's a delicious Assunta, really, really sweet and really enjoyable. But the thing about it is it's a sensitive plant and it doesn't produce the biggest fruits either. It's also self-sterile with a beautiful purple flower. Always delicious. One of my kids' favorites. So, let's see how VERMITHOR compares. Now again, I'm not going to brix this one. It's a little overripe if you really look at it. You can see it's kind of broken down. It's a drawback of, I believe, the undatus in it or the stenopteris. I'm not sure. But either way, that is something I don't like. It's a little mushy, but still pretty delicious. All right, well, look at the difference. So this thing, we're not sure of the pollen source, but if I had to guess, probably is a Costa-ricensis. So you can see this VERMITHOR, this Assunta 2 seedling number 2 in fact, is a beautiful red fleshed fruit, as you can see. And they've been consistently tasting really delicious. They don't break down in the heat, luckily, and they do take quite a long time to ripen. Probably say about 2 months. I wasn't tracking it that carefully this season. So let's just grab one and see how sweet it is and do a quick little review. But really delicious looking fruit. I've had quite a few already and I enjoy them every time. So far this hybrid will definitely be a keeper. I don't think I'm gonna let it out yet. I'm gonna keep it for one more year and just make sure that it does well this season, off season in the winter. And then I want it to produce, hopefully, a bigger fruit next year. So I'm not sure which one is probably the sweetest, which one is probably looking at a thinner skin. Let's go ahead and cut up this one too, just to see. Oh, I don't know, let's just try this one. Now they were brixing in the 17s and 18s of the fruit I've already tried, and they were very enjoyable. I like the flavors. Not earthy, but definitely one of the better red fleshed. So there you go, 17. So you can see what a difference. This is the mother plant where the seedlings came, and then here are the seeds. And the seeds actually originated from the mother plant at Elk Creek. They were given to James, who sent them back to me, and then I grew them out. So these seeds actually traveled to Texas and back. Wow, what a winner. It's the dominant trait of this hybrid is definitely Costa-ricensis. It reminds me a lot of like a Caslau. San Ignacio really reminds me of that. In fact, the closest Costa-ricensis plant to the original mother plant at Elk Creek Dragon Fruit Farm, where this came from, was actually San Ignacio. So we don't know the pollen source, but you can see it's definitely red fleshed. Definitely the bigger seeds and Costa-ricensis flavors, but it's really enjoyable. I mean, I wish the fruit were bigger. I wish the flower was purple. You could see the flower here on VERMITHOR. So my favorite of the Assunta seedlings I'm growing out from this series. We have 4, but man, this is definitely a keeper. I mean, there are some drawbacks. The plant's a little bit sensitive, although it's in full sun. The seeds are larger and the fruit's not as big. But nice sweetness, and then a more heavy acidity berry flavor. So really clean fruit. The seeds are crunchy and kind of poppy, but no earthiness. So you can see the seeds are a little bit bigger. And definitely look at the different color and flesh. In fact, what happens if I mix them? Oh, wow. Now, if you said, Paul, you could only grow one, this one has that really strong I call it a fake coconut flavor. Other people call it tropical. And it's almost overwhelming sometimes. It's almost too sweet. So if I had to pick only one plant, I'd have to go with this hybrid. Just because, I mean, the flower is not as pretty. I mean, look at the flower of Asunta 2. Look at this thing. Oh, small, petite, gorgeous flower. But flavor-wise, I'm all about the flavors. This one does it for me. So thank you for watching this video. I've basically made up my mind that I'm keeping this plant because these fruit are really enjoyable. I mean, oh man, for a dark magenta red flesh, really dynamic flavors. Not overwhelming sweet like its mother, but a nice acidity, nice color. Fruit doesn't break down the heat wave. All in all, a good one. So there you go. There's a review on the VERMITHOR. Thanks for watching.